This one is one of my favorites. This is one of my favorites. So here's what, and by the way, to those of you who don't know, Megyn Kelly is a Republican. She's a conservative commentator. She has her own podcast now. She used to work at Fox News. I think she left Fox News in 2017. She was there for what, 4, maybe 5 years or whatever. So, and of course we all know Taylor Swift is a Democrat. So again, you know this is going to be good. So here's what Taylor Swift said, and here's how Megyn Kelly reacted.
If you are over 18, please register to vote for something else that's very important. F you, Taylor Swift.
So it says here, and this is according to news.com.au, it's a YouTube channel right here. American media personality Megyn Kelly has slammed musician Taylor Swift for publicly endorsing Kamala Harris over Donald Trump. So I don't even know where to start with this one because let me just throw in a few random things right here just to kind of, I'll find a way to bring it all together as I'm talking more about it. But guys, do you see anybody on the left? Like, is there any leftist podcaster or liberal, like pro Kamala, pro Biden, pro Democrat podcaster or media figure that's saying F you to, I don't know, Hulk Hogan or Amber Rose? Which, by the way, I'm not saying I personally feel that way about them, because you want to know the reason why? Because I, like most people with common sense, understand something. Even though most of Hollywood tends to lean more liberal and pro-Democrat, there's going to be plenty of Democrat celebrities out there. There's going to be plenty of Republican celebrities out there. Hulk Hogan is obviously a Republican, so he's going to support the Republican candidate. That's why he was at the Republican convention. Amber Rose, I think she said she used to be Democrat and she flipped to Trump, and I know she's supporting Trump this time around. I don't even know if she didn't support him in 2016. I don't know if she supported him in 2020. I don't know if she clarified that part. But, well, now she's pro-Republican, she's pro-Trump, so she's going to speak at the Trump convention. That makes sense. Taylor Swift, as I've gone over this on this show many times before, Taylor Swift is pro-Democrat. Taylor Swift supported Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, and she was getting ready to back Biden again until he dropped out, and now it's Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. So who do you think she's going to back? Like, matter of fact, here, listen to the rest of this.
Taylor Swift just endorsed Kamala Harris. Taylor Swift.
So Megyn Kelly's doing this podcast. She's got 2 people on her show. She's got a man and a woman. And after she said that, the woman just like, like, that's funny? Like, that's, oh, what a joke. Like, I wish I could be on the show to be like, well, you know, Taylor Swift's a Democrat, right? So she's going to support the Democrat candidate. I'm not really sure, like, what's unusual about this? Like, what, did you think Taylor Swift was a Republican? I mean, if you thought that, listen, I don't fault people for what they don't know, but it's very, very difficult for me. It is next to impossible for me to believe that Megyn Kelly could have possibly thought that Taylor Swift was pro-Trump. I don't know. That's a tough one right there. That's a tough one. I don't know how you can pull that one off. I don't know how you do that. Which, by the way, Megyn Kelly, you used to hate Trump's guts because he made all these disgusting and misogynistic comments about you, bleeding from her this and that and bleeding from her wherever. And you heavily implied that you didn't vote for him that year. So just remember that. Here.
Yeah. She posted a picture of herself with her cat. Would you look at this? You can, of course. I'm like, you can kiss your sales to the Republican audience goodbye, Taylor. Hope you enjoyed them while you had them.
You can kiss your sales to the Republican audience goodbye. Hope you enjoyed them while you had them. Again, I'm willing to bet. Again, I know this is going to be a little bit of a biased take, but here's my assumption. This is my guess. If a celebrity has a particular political party that they affiliate with, and especially they make it known that they affiliate with that party, guess who most of their audience is going to be? Most of their audience is going to be that party. When you look at, see, I talk a lot about comedians on here. So when you look at the Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle, D.L. Hughley, Cedric the Entertainer, you know, people like them, they're Democrats. So guess who most of their audience is going to be? Democrats. Because they voted for the same people that Taylor Swift voted for: Obama, Hillary, Biden. So I'm not here to make the argument to say every last one of Taylor Swift's fans is a Democrat. I'm sure she has Republican fans, and I'm willing to go so far to say she probably has a number of fans out there that are Republican, but they'll pay to attend her concerts. They might look at her and say, we disagree with her politics 100%, but we love her music. And then there's people like myself who are kind of the opposite, where it's like, hey, I'm kind of indifferent about her music, but I love what she's doing politically. So let's say hypothetically she were to lose every last one of those Republican supporters. Do you think that that's going to make her go broke, considering the fact that a vast majority of her fans are Democrat or Democrat leaning? Taylor Swift has over 283 million followers on Instagram. And that's just one social media site. I'm willing to bet that probably a good 200 million of them are Democrats or left-leaning independents. And the rest of the 83 million, you can just say, okay, fine, they might be Republican. Okay, so let's say she loses them. Taylor will be like, okay, I'm still doing my thing. I'm out here traveling the world and selling out the arenas and releasing albums and singles left and right. And I got this net worth of just over $1 billion now. So now I'm one of the, number one pop star in America, possibly the world at this point. Let's go on. Hold on. She took issue with Swift's support for LGBT rights, specifically relating to young trans people.
This is disgusting. If she wants to vote Harris Walz, she can do it all she wants. But to say the reason she's doing it is because of Tim Walz's stance on LGBTQ, F you, Taylor Swift. And F all of the people who want to see these children have body parts chopped off and watch them sterilized under the age of consent, and then will ride off to their multi-gazillion-dollar mansions, never to think of them again.
You know, I don't even know, I don't know, what do you think in terms of the way she said that? Do you think she was being serious? Is she putting on a show just to get ratings? Or is she seriously this ticked off? Now, I'll be 100% honest with you. I'll be 100% honest with you. If she is genuinely this ticked off, I like it. If she's genuinely this ticked off and she hates Taylor Swift this much, that just made my respect and support for Taylor Swift go up even higher. Like I said, I love her politically. Like I said, the music stuff, one way or the other. I've heard some of her stuff. She's all right. I'm not going to pay to go to her concert. But again, what she's doing politically is pretty damn amazing. And by the way, there were other reasons why, to my understanding from some sources that I've seen, there were other reasons that Swift cited Harris and Walz as a good pick, as a good ticket, and how she talked about the other things that Walz did in his state. Not just with supposed trans stuff or supposed LGBT stuff, but I'm assuming that she knows what most people who follow this stuff even a little bit are aware of, the good things that he did in Minnesota. The free school meals, the 12 weeks paid family leave, the 12 weeks paid vacation, the public free college if you're making under 80K, stuff like that. So when I hear that from Megyn Kelly, I hear, you know what? F you, Taylor Swift. F you, Taylor Swift. F you for supporting the idea that kids can get free meals when they're starving. And you support the Democrats chopping off certain body parts from kids. And I know that wasn't the best whistle. You're going to have to ignore that. But I'll try to do better with the whistle next time. I'm going to have to work on that one. But also what amazes me even more is that she pulled up a picture of Taylor Swift holding her cat. and that was her endorsement to Kamala and Tim, and she signed it, Taylor Swift, childless cat lady. Yes. That's amazing. I love that. Guys, I'm a political Swiftie. I am a political Swiftie. So, well, at least now I know a little bit of what Taylor Swift said at her concert in terms of registering people to vote. You know, if you're 18, register to vote. That's all she said. And all those people, them young people in the audience, all them young boys and girls there, people who look like they're 18 to 21 years old, they're just thunderous round of applause. Guys, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Before 2020, I would say before 2022, and matter of fact, let me even just say this. Let's just go even before 2020. I really was kind of indifferent to Taylor Swift, not just because of the music thing. I knew she was a Democrat, but I'm like, okay, she's there with, you know, like I said, the other Democrat celebrities who helped get out the vote the past few election cycles. Dwayne Johnson, Oprah Winfrey, Kevin Bacon, Kira Sedgwick, Miley Cyrus. And so to me, Taylor was just another one of them. But I'll tell you right now, with those other celebrities that I just listed, none of them have been able to, what's the word for it? To be able to conjure up as much hate from the conservative media as she's doing. And the more I'm seeing it, the more I like her. The more I want to hear from her, the more I want to see her. And this is amazing. And let me see if there was anything after this. Hold on. Yeah, Megyn. It's so shocking that a Democrat is endorsing a Democrat. Wow.
Of her running mate, Tim.
Taylor Swift was quoted as saying, I was so heartened and impressed by her selection of running mate Tim Walz, who has been standing up for LGBT rights, IVF, and a woman's right to her own body for decades. IVF is in vitro fertilization. And guys, you already know my stance on, again, those are a few of the things that I don't really talk about in this show much. One, my opinion of them isn't quite as strong as with some other stuff that I talk about, because my main things are healthcare, education, wages, unions, and a little bit of foreign policy. But like I said, with the LGBT thing, look, all I can say is, even though it's not the lifestyle that I live, it's not taking place in my house, in my bedroom, none of that. People, you go ahead, as long as you're of legal age, and as long as everything is consensual, as long as nobody, catches anything, hey, you do what you want as long as it satisfies you and it doesn't negatively impact anybody else. And the Republican media melted down when Tim Walz, I think he said this at his first rally. I think it was either the day of or the day after Kamala had officially chosen him. I think he might have done a rally that night. It was either that night or the next night. I think they were in either Atlanta or they had to have been in Minnesota or Wisconsin, if not Atlanta. And what was the famous line that Tim Walz said? He said, mind your own damn business. He said it just like that, mind your own damn business. And what he's referring to is he's telling Republicans, hey, stop making laws about women's bodies. Let them make their own choices. Again, it's not any clearer than that. So Taylor's saying, hey, that's one of the reasons I support him. While you got most of the Republicans talking about let's do a national abortion ban. So, but anyway, yeah, F you, Taylor Swift. F you for supporting that. Okay, that whistle was a little bit better. A little bit. I'm going to have to dedicate the whistle stuff to another video. But, so that's the point. Let me see how much more to this is. How much more is it? How much more? Let me see what we got going on here.
IVF and a woman's right to her own body for decades. Oh my God.
Why does she sound like a hopeless girl in a horror film? Oh my gosh. She put her hands on her head literally like this. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. We're going to die. We're going to die. It's the end of the world. Oh my gosh. Gosh, what is wrong with these people? I don't understand it. I don't get.
Taylor and her...
What does it say right here? During her radio show, Megyn Kelly went on to deride Taylor Swift and her boyfriend, Travis Kelce, as snobs.
This pair, Taylor and her boyfriend, Travis Kelce, are the epitomes of elite snobs. They both have gazillions of dollars. She doesn't care what happens to these kids, just like he doesn't give a shit what happens to all the young men who take that Pfizer booster he's been pushing on them. You've called women you don't like fat pigs?
Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. I'm sorry, I had to pull something up on the other monitor right quick. Because, okay, so you heard what she just said, right? Let me go right back to that. Hold on.
Like this pair, Taylor and her boyfriend, Travis Kelce, are the epitomes of elite snobs. They both...
The epitome of elite snobs. Megyn, your net worth is roughly $45 million. Which, by the way, I'm not saying that's bad. I mean, hey. I mean, who wouldn't have that money? But you used to work at Fox News. And Fox News, like a lot of other stations on television, are full of what? A bunch of slimy, elite snobs. Or as you would say, slimy, elite snobs. The epitome of elite snobs. And it's like, I wish you could see this look in her face. Like, her eyes are just so, like, she's squinting. Like, what is her problem?
Dollars. She doesn't care what happens to these kids, just like...
She doesn't care what happens to these kids. Okay, but the guy that she is supporting, Tim Walz, he did a policy. One of his most popular policies in Minnesota was giving free meals to kids, which almost every Republican official in this country opposes. So, who really doesn't care about the kids here? Megyn, you are an elite snob.
Like he doesn't give a shit what happens to all the young men who take that Pfizer booster he's been pushing on them. You've called women...
First of all, at the end of the day, people had their choice about whether or not to take the shot. What was it? Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson, which was the least popular one. That was the one that most people didn't like and didn't trust. So, I don't know. And now they're playing this clip here from what Megyn Kelly said to Trump in 2015, or what he said to her. Hold on.
You don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account...
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
Megyn Kelly famously drew Mr. Trump's ire early in his political career when he was considered an underdog candidate in the Republican Party's presidential nomination in 2015. Trump said, quote unquote, you could see there was blood coming out of her eyes, blood coming out of her wherever. She was off base.
Big girl, I can take it. Your Twitter account?
She was off base. How do you feel about getting beat up a bit?
It's okay. I'm a big girl. I can take it.
So let me get this straight. You're a big girl. You can take it. So when a guy running for president who's known for having an entire history of misogynist comments and stuff like that, and he makes a joke about, it was essentially a period joke. It was a vagina joke. Let's just call it what it is. Let's not kid ourselves here. When he says bleeding out of her wherever, bleeding out of her whatever, you look at that and say, I'm a big girl. I can take it. But you can't be a big girl and you can't take it when a celebrity that you don't like endorses a political candidate that you don't like. And by the way, Taylor Swift never said anything offensive. She didn't. And by the way, she hasn't really said anything about Trump. She just said, I'm endorsing Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. She didn't say anything about you. She didn't say anything about anybody on Fox News. She didn't say anything about Trump or Vance or any other Republican candidate. You can't take that, but you can take a guy who just made a period joke on television towards you? Oh my gosh. You know what? I'm going to give up on the whistle for right now. I'm not even going to revisit that. Just forget the whistle. But that's about that. So Taylor Swift is officially one of my favorite people. And she has this magic superpower where she can just easily tear down and destroy the Republican Party. And, well, let me rephrase it. She can easily make the right-wing media melt down. And there's nothing greater. Nothing greater. Stay tuned, like and subscribe.